Hi everyone. Again, thanks for joining the call. I'm Rohit, the trainer for the session today, and we'll go step by step. But before moving ahead, I just wanted to put some disclaimer. Information which you will be looking in this PPT only for the sheer reference purposes. And today's agenda would include about the SAP, introduction of SAP Signavio, and what other potential opportunities we are having in this world, and how we can leverage Signavio for the process transformation, engineering, business process management, and modeling. So if you can see on the screen, this is the today's agenda. Curriculum, we'll share the curriculum, introduction about me and you, and then we'll give you a bit brief history about the SAP as well as SAP Signavio, and what are trends are in the market in terms of the jobs and the salaries. We'll talk about globally, this would not be a country specific, and then we'll go with the short introduction about the SAP Signavio and its features of the SAP Signavio Process Manager in today's demo session. And then and at the end, Alok will talk about these ZaranTech offers, what we are going to offer you in terms of the training and the content of the training, as well as the documentation, learning modules, and all. And at the end, we'll be having a small Q&A session. So we talk about the SAP Signavio curriculum. So we'll start with the SAP Signavio introduction and introduction to business process management. Then we'll move ahead with the fundamentals of the process modeling with the help of the process manager, one of the module of Signavio. Then we'll go into the detail of Signavio process manager, where we have some user specific features which we need to know, because those features really SAP Signavio you won't be able to get those features from any of the other training. This is the specific thing which we will be providing it to you. And after that, we'll tell you how we can use SAP Signavio to manage the company's centralized process repository and how we can enable the collaboration with the company users. And then we'll move ahead with the introduction of the collaboration hub and the basic features. If you are interested, then we'll move with the advanced features. And introduction about the Signavio Process Intelligence, nothing but a process mining tool. And then we'll share you the information about the advanced process mining and technologies and how we can leverage those technologies to perform the analysis with the help of the SAP Signavio Process Intelligence. After that, there's another module called Process Governance. We'll move ahead with this module once, then we're gonna end here. Now it comes to introduction. So my education is, I'm a engineering graduate. I'm holding around 14 years of experience. I have multiple certification in the field of business process management and process professional masters. I hold the multiple certification to SAP Signavio, Celonis, MindVenio, Mega, and some other tools as well. Until now, I have trained more than 200 plus SAP Signavio professionals across the various companies. This is all about me. A short introduction would be much helpful for us to understand your expectation and how you can leverage SAP Signavio in your particular field. So thanks for your introduction. I can see there are a lot of great minds we are having in today's session. So from myself, I'm a Rohit. I'm holding 14 years of experience in SAP Signavio. I'm currently working on the multiple SAP transformation projects, greenfield, brownfield, as well as the few other transformations, like where we are not implementing the S4, but we are improving the existing EC systems. So before moving to the SAP Signavio, I just wanted to give you a brief introduction about the SAP. I hope you all are aware about the SAP, but at least a short brief is required, because currently SAP having more than 400,000 customers in more than 180 plus countries. And they have classified all those 400,000 customers into 25 industry categories. So if we talk about SAP, they have a very big scope. They bought SAP Signavio in 2021. And when it comes to Signavio, they have integrated with SAP Signavio in their S4 Activate project management methodology. And as you know, SAP is moving with the S4 HANA. And to implement S4 HANA, SAP Signavio plays a key role when we are moving from the ECC or any other. So when it comes to the ECC, if we have to move, we have to have a clear picture of all the process models, their performances, and how we can move with the S4 by using the best practices. So if we take the picture of 400,000 plus customers in the 25 different kinds of industries, so we can see the future of SAP Signavio becomes very bright. So when we talk about SAP in last 40 years, they have moved a bit far. They are one of the number one ERP organization, which was founded by the IBM employees, five ex-IBM employees in 1972. And since 1970 to 2022, there are a lot of changes, a lot of technologies they have developed, and as well as they secured more than 150 plus patents in the business transformation only. So this is a brief history of SAP when R3 was introduced in 1992, and then S4 was introduced in last decade, and now we have a deadline of R3 support is 2027, by which we have to go to S4 HANA. And major of the companies in their customer base are using existing R3 system. Hardly 10% of the companies are still move to S4 HANA. 90% of companies are still have to move to S4 HANA in next couple of years. So you can see the scope of SAP Signavio. So when we talk about the scope, it is very important to understand what is the job outlook about SAP Signavio. So if we talk about the job outlook, SAP Signavio has a great demand in the market, specifically in the last 2 years. The demand increased exponentially. And when it comes to the compensation part, it covers from 85,000, a low salary, to 139,000 on a higher side for SAP Signavio business analyst. But there are multiple roles in the SAP Signavio. We have different job titles: process analyst, business process management consultant, or solution architect, or the implementation expert. So these different kinds of roles you can have by learning a proper or by going through a proper training module of Signavio. If we talk about the industry trend, these are the few industry trends which we have captured from the market. Signavio is a very good tool to learn and to add this skill in your current work. So in what kind of industry we can leverage Signavio is the finance, banking, manufacturing, retail, consumer goods, health, etc. There are a lot of things apart from these as well. I will show you that landscape as well to discuss what are different companies and where we can leverage Signavio best practice. So today's course objective is a short introduction about the BPM, how we can leverage BPMs in the organization, what is SAP Signavio, and how many modules we have. And then we'll create a short process, BPM process, by using the process manager as well as the process intelligence. We'll showcase how you can create the process at a single click. Okay, so what is the primary requirement? When it comes to the training, everyone has a thinking what they need before going for any kind of training. Is there any prerequisites to it? Do they need a coding language? Or do they need any other kind of skills? But when it comes to Signavio, yes, we need few specific kind of key skills. If we don't have that much of coding skills, it's so totally fine, because SAP Signavio is a low code or no code platform where you don't need to do any coding, or a bit of coding is required when you wanted to customize the things. But what are the basic prerequisites? The inherent understanding of the organizational business processes are required. The one thing like hire to retire, lead to cash, order to cash, procure to pay, these kind of process knowledge, high level process knowledge is required. You must have a familiarity with the process modeling or the flowchart methodology. If you don't have, then you can gain this with the help of Signavio by within the course. We'll be having a specific course for the process modeling, and then understanding the business process management concept. What is business process management? What is the need for the organization of business having the business process management team or the center of excellence for the business BPM? And if you have knowledge of SAP environment, it's good. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. It's good to have a skill. And if these prerequisites are fulfilled, then there are few types of consultants or roles who can take up the SAP Signavio training and add this as a skill. So what are those kind of roles? If you are a business process analyst or a business process manager, these are very good skills you can have by which you can analyze your process, design your processes, and then improve your processes. For the SAP functional consultants who are currently working in the SAP environment, this is very good skills because SAP is evolving. And when it comes to the S4HANA, because in the next 2 years, all the ECC customers will move to S4HANA. And S4HANA process management performance is only driven by SAP Signavio. Earlier, we used to have a specific BPM model in the solution manager, where we used to model the processes. But now, SAP Solution Manager will not be available after 2 years of time, because we are moving towards cloud era. which is 100% integrated with the SAP Signavio. All the process performances we can analyze in the Signavio, and we can redesign the process by just shuffling the business objects and then push back to cloud element. When it comes to the IT professionals, why Signavio? Because Signavio is a business process management tool where you can design your organizational process, not only SAP processes, even your ITSM processes. You can manage the performance of those processes. You can analyze their performance in the real time, and you can see where you need the improvement, where are your pain areas. But when it comes to digital transformation leaders, this is one of the key tools which can help you to identify the potential point of opportunities, point of improvements, where you can start your digital transformation. This is one for the most important tool for the digital transformation leaders. So I hope most of the people who are the part of this training falls under these kind of roles. Anyone, please interrupt me if I'm not wrong. So when it comes about the benefits, so there are few benefits of having the SAP Signavio training. These are the few benefits listed, which I have already covered in our discussion when I was talking about the roles. So let's go with the SAP Signavio introduction. I hope you all are aware about this field. You may have seen this wheel on the SAP Signavio websites. This is the most important wheel which you have to understand. It will show you all the modules and the key to run those modules. The first module is the Signavio Process Insights, which can connect with your existing system, whether it's an ECC, B1, warehouse management, or any kind of system you have. It can integrate with that system where we can understand the process performances and identify the levers. It will help you to identify the quick wins by connecting with your existing SAP environment. Once you are going to identify the levers, you can prioritize those processes or the levers, and then you can do the process mining with the help of the another module called the SAP Signavio Process Intelligence. Signavio provides more than 100 plus value accelerators, which is available in the accelerator library given by the SAP Signavio for their customers. Apart from the 100 value accelerators, major companies like Big Four, Top 3, and other service companies also build their process accelerators and they add in the library. So we have a very good value accelerator library to run the process investigations, to identify the potentials, and then work on those improvement potentials. It will also give you the recommendations, what are the changes needed in your existing system. These two tools will help you to monitor and analyze the performance. When the analysis is done, what you need, you have to design or redesign your process. Then Signavio Process Manager comes into the picture. This is the place where you can design your business process in the form of the Business Process Modeling and Notation 2.0, BPMN 2.0 language. This is the ISO-based certified modeling language, which was certified in 2014. Since then, there is a globalized modeling language used in the multiple tools, and Signavio is compliant to BPMN 2.0. But apart from the BPMN 2.0, you can also design your enterprise architecture diagrams, organizational hierarchies, organizational structures, and some other types of diagrams like decision modeling, UML diagrams, navigation charts, and so on. Once you design your process, what you need, you wanted to understand the experience of your customer or your vendor or your employees who are the part of your organizational business process. How are you going to do that? So SAP Signavio Journey Modeler is the place where you can understand or design the customer journeys, identify the pain points from your customer point of view to improve the customer experience, or from your vendor point of view to identify the moments of growth or touch points with them, and how you can improve the overall experience of vendor or a customer or an employee. What are challenges they are facing? It will help you to do the sentimental analysis as well. So customer journey, where you will be having all the business processes with you, the feedbacks from the customers, vendor, their pain points, as well as the performances from the live system called Process Insights and the Intelligence. We have designed the process, analyzed and designed the process. Now what we need the process governance. We have to put a governance structure on the process, how these changes will get managed, how all the approvals all the modifications will get managed. So process governance is the place where we can execute the workflows, design our custom-based workflows, execute them with the help of this particular module. Also overlook all the process changes, modifications, approvals, rejections. So this process governance is only used for the governance on the processes within Signavio. The next part is the process automation. SAP built, this is not falls under SAP Signavio, but the future plan by the end of Q2 2025, the SAP process automation will get integrated 100% with the SAP Signavio module. Currently, this module is a part of the SAP BTP. But in future, in next couple of quarters, the overall process automation will get integrated with the Signavio. So you will be having a one place where you can analyze performance, design or redesign your process, or if you wanted to automate your processes, then again, SAP Signavio would be a tool where you don't have to do anything from scratch because you have identified pain points in the process and you can improve those pain points by implementing the low-cost automation or the full RPA with the help of the SAP built process automation engine. These are the 6 major modules. But apart from that, there's a one more module which is a key to the overall wheel. If you can see, this is also the icon of key where we have process collaboration hub in the mid. It will help you to unlock the performance of all these other 6 modules. This is a place where you can collaborate with the internal company employees or the external vendors or the customers. This is basically a collaboration module where you will be having all your processes, performances in place, the governance in place, as well as from where you can trigger your automation workflows. So that's why this is the particular module which is used for the rollout. Insights and intelligence are for monitoring and analyzing the processes. Process manager, journey modeler are for designing and redesigning and to run the simulation to do the what if analysis. And if you wanted to improve, then these are the 2 different modules. And to roll out those improvements, then process collaboration hub is the place. How, in what areas we can use this particular module? We can use in the operation excellence, finance, intelligent automation, S4, migration, or the transformation, or the customer. If you wanted to improve customer experience or CRM, or to do a compliance or audit, these are a few use cases we have put down for your understanding, where we can leverage Signavio. And the major use cases are listed on the bottom, where we can improve our P2P, order to cash, record to report process. We can use this to put overall GRC structure in place, governance, risk and compliance structure, RPA, migration, for the continuous improvement and Lean Six Sigma programs. This is one of the major tools who can help you to identify the problems. When it comes to the Lean Six Sigma, the major pain area is to define a problem. Once we define a problem, the half of the problem is automatically got solved. This is the concept of Lean Six Sigma, where you can identify your problems. When you have identified the problem, or your problem statement is ready, then you can easily run the Lean Six Sigma programs with the help of the SAP Signavio. When it comes to merger and acquisitions, Signavio is also a tool which can help you to identify the major points which we have to focus during our mergers and acquisitions. So before moving ahead, I just wanted to show you a glimpse of Signavio, how it works, and so that you will get familiarized how SAP Signavio.
Hey, will you be covering all these modules in your training?
Yes, we will be covering all these modules in the training. So our first module is the SAP Signavio Process Insights. When we connect with the system, any ERP system of SAP environment, whether it's S4HANA or ECC, BW, or any other type of tool, all the information of that particular system is got pulled in the Signavio Process Insights, and Signavio Process Insights will transform that information in the form of the end-to-end processes. Like these are the 7 end-to-end processes defined by the SAP itself: idea to market, source to pay, plan to fulfill, lead to cash, acquire to decommissioning, governance, finances. These are the high-level end-to-end process which is having further underlying business processes. We can go into the detail by clicking on it. And we are going to click on it. It will gonna show us the
One
performance of the
question.
process. Yeah.
One question that I did not see any O2C process.
O2C, order to cash. Order to
Yeah.
cash is the part of lead to cash. Lead to opportunity and order opportunity is when opportunity is converted. Lead is converted into an opportunity. Then order to cash process starts when we receive the sales order.
Okay. I did not see this. Okay. I'm good.
Order
Thank
to
you.
cash is not a complete end-to-end process. This is a sub part of a lead to cash. We have opportunity to quote, order to fulfill, invoice to cash. Order to cash covers order to fulfill and invoice to cash.
Got it.
Is there a configuration where you can only bring in certain processes?
Come again.
For example, your hire to retire is not here. So is there a configuration where only certain processes will be shown?
No. Okay. We have only integrated this with one of the instance of SAP ECC. And in our current landscape, our hire to retire is the part of success factors. Once we're gonna add or integrate this with the success factors, our hire to retire will also be visible in the end.
Understand. Okay.
You won't be able to see some of the other modules here as well. Governance is complete governance structure is not here. We have added governance because there are few of the activities are already happening in our ECC system. So that's why it is capturing from there. But we have the independent GRC module. Once we're gonna integrate that GRC module, then our governance, all the processes will get reflected here.
A question here.
I have a
the
question.
new customers.
Please.
How about the new customers who are not on SAP?
Now, in what sense?
But say this is you're mentioning that this Signavio is being integrated with the ECC or S4, right? But how about the customers who are coming from a different ERP system or
it
just
has the
a
adaptability
new customer
to connect with the multiple. It can connect with the JD Orders. It can connect with the Oracle. It can also connect with the customized ERPs.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. This is an excellent class. This will help me as a business analyst. I see R to R. It'll help me with that. But does this eliminate for a business analyst with SAP and working between IT and with the developers? Would this help me with the business processes and test cases to go a little bit faster, where we're not using Excel to do that?
I'm coming to that point.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, I was about to come to that point.
Okay.
Because when it comes to the improving or identifying the potential opportunities, we always go with the SAP model.
Yes.
So because we have the identified levers, it will gonna ease the work of the business analyst or the process analyst to go for the transformation. So to do that, what we have done or the SAP has done, SAP has identified the potential levers or potential opportunities, what the end user have to do. If I wanted to improve my R2 or finance, what I wanted to improve? I wanted to improve my dispute outstanding. I wanted to go with my business processes or business process harmonization. I wanted to increase my forecast accuracy. I wanted to reduce my finance cost. So these kind of levers we can use to get into the detail, and this will gonna highlight what are the business processes that are impacted. Sales billing document creation to accounts receivable clearing. This is my one of the process, and here are my business objects ongoing. Sales billing document, accounting document, and I can select my opportunity, what I wanted to do. If I wanted to go for the DSO, day sales outstanding improvement, what are different business objects I will gonna target, and what are different KPIs I will gonna target. If I wanted to reduce the late customer payments, what are the different business objects I will be targeting? When I will gonna target, it will gonna show me the details of the business object as well as the correction recommendation for those line items. So this particular module will give you the as-is analysis of your existing system in the form of the business process workflows, recommendations, improvement actions, and the metrics analysis for those business objects who are building these workflows. So if we wanted to plan a transformation, whether we have a private cloud or we wanted to go with a public cloud, we can choose the option. Once we're gonna choose the option, it will show us what is our existing process and what are the best practices available. When we're gonna click on the process, it will gonna locate us to, just a moment, I have to log out from my current system. Okay, so now it will show me the best practices, but I have to go into the details of Just allow me a moment, please. Let me go into that. Now I have to log into my other workspace. Okay, here you can see. So from here, I can drill down into the for the respective process area, where I will be having the list of the process available with me in the form of the BPMN diagrams. So it will show me respective workflow as well as my current process as this process, where we can do the comparison and find out the improvement opportunities and how the process would be available here, as well as the performance of that particular process will be available in my process intelligence. And the intelligence itself, I will be able to see the overall performance of the process in the form of the process execution analysis, which we can build with the help. Can you see my screen now?
No, I said this is good.
Okay, so it connects with your system. It will show you what are different activities involved. Also, it will show you the process execution analysis, how your system is behaving for the cases who run within your system. My asset master creation to deactivation process is going through these ways. For here to showcase, it would be better if I can show you the other process and the procurement process instead of. It will show me how my procurement process is happening within the system. This is not the one. I have a lot of procurement processes just to execution. Okay, let's see sales order. Okay, so this is one of the example of my sales order purchase execution, how my cases are flowing and what are the cases are not happening in the system and how my cases are flowing within the one workflow or the other workflow. It will also give me the variant analysis within the process, how many number of different variants I'm having and how my first variant is getting executed, how my another variant is getting executed. You can see we have defined the process in a very simpler way. But when it comes to the real-time usage of that process, this was supposed to happen in sequence, but actually this is not happening in sequence. There are a lot of process violations we can see from here. We can see the process violations, we can identify those violations, and then we can plan the reduction of those violations. If the violation is of good kind, then we can also see the opportunities, whether we wanted to keep this violation or we wanted to reduce this violation as well. Violation may not always be negative. Few violations can be good, which can help us to redesign our system. So SAP Signavio help us to analyze your all organizational processes. Supplier payment without purchasing is one of the most common, which is applicable for every organization. Here you can see the process execution. There are n number of variants I'm having in my workspace, but still most of the cases are flowing through this path.
I have a question. So customers, they like to see, they don't want to see all these diagrams. So that's why SIPOCs, they get to see it a little bit more clearer. So if a customer asks you to map, but the accounting area wants to understand exactly how it's mapped, but for it not to be too technical, will that be available too, like the mapping to explain to the end user a little bit better?
Yeah, for that we have Process Manager where we can build our SIPOC and link that SIPOC to our real-time performances. This is the place where you can design your BPMN diagram. We have business object or the business elements where you can build the overall SIPOC. You can put supplier on the one place, input and the process in the middle, and output as well, in the form of the business objects or the data objects or the event and results. And then that can lead to a customer.
Okay. And then what about, are we still working with like a Jira with this to get our acceptance criteria and everything out the way, or we still would use Jira to do those?
This will help you to eliminate any of the existing process modeling tool, whether it's a Visio or any other diagram. So let me show you how easy it is.
Okay,
because this is the part of training where we have to demonstrate process. Row 1. So here we have started with the event. We are at 4 kind of activities. We can add the multiple attributes to these activities as information. Once we're gonna save this information, the process will get saved. Also, once the process will get saved, you can see the overall change history of that process from the bottom. If there are any kind of changes are happening, you can manage the overall change history. You can design the process, add the custom attributes or the main attributes based upon your requirement. Also, if you wanted to perform the simulation will help you to run the simulation for the design model.
Good.
Also, if you wanted to do the next level analysis for the process documentation purpose, if you wanted to create the process documentation, you can click on it and then you can generate the process documentation in the form of the PDF diagram or either in the Word diagram. Now, the process model will get downloaded with the complete information about the process. In this process, we don't have the information available, but if we will be having the further information within the process, this will get downloaded.
And so test cases, we no longer use Excel. We can use this for our test cases to work with the developer, right?
Yeah, correct.
Good.
Not only documentation, but if you wanted to do the process cost analysis, IT system usage analysis, you wanted to create a RASI matrix for the business processes, not only one, even for the hundreds of business processes, you can just choose the business process, create your RASI matrix or risk and control matrix for the GRC purposes. You can share your workflows with the internal team, external vendors, or the external customers. Or if you wanted to execute the workflows, you can execute with the help of the process governance. If you wanted to initiate the approval workflow, you can just choose the diagram and initiate your approval workflow. Now, once your approval workflow will get initiated, you will be able to see the action in action here, action item to approve the workflow. Or this will get assigned to the respective users who are having a role to approve L1 or L2 level of workflows. So you can design, you can simulate, you can see comments. If your vendor, customer, or internal employee commented on your process diagram, a comment will be visible to your workflows, and then you can see their suggestion or what are the changes they required within the process. If you wanted to improve your existing BPMN diagrams or Visio diagrams, you can also import your Visio diagrams and then they will get converted into the BPMN diagrams. Also, you can export these diagrams into the image, PDF, vector graphics, or the XML, which can be used as an input for your other workflow engines like Jira, Salesforce, ServiceNow. Okay. And this is the place where you can go and run the intelligence for your processes. Once your process intelligence is done, then you can go with the process governance and then start running the exercises. Here I have designed multiple workflows. These workflows was designed in the Signavio Process Manager in the form of the BPMN diagram. And then we moved the same workflow to the SAP Signavio Process Governance. And if I wanted to run a business prioritization workflow, I'm having a form, I'm having a process flow diagram, and those activities, every activities is having few attributes which we have added here. And these attributes can be used as a form or a check sheet when I'm gonna run a particular case. So if I wanted to start a case of my business prioritization workflow, it will help me to add the information because these are the forms I've defined within the process where I can enter the amount. I can, if my transformation initiative is to improve days payable outstanding, DPO, and my value driver is GPO, I'm gonna invest my $15,000. Okay. Leave it blank. Year on year, effective is 2 years. Return on investment is 2 years. Applicable for my SPS for Ariba business. So if I'm gonna submit my opportunity, my case is started, and the next committee qualified the opportunities went to my steering committee who will gonna assess this particular lever with the help of the Signavio process as well as intelligence. They will gonna see the potential from here in the value analysis. If I wanted to improve my existing days sales outstanding or days payable outstanding, they can see from here what are different levers and performance indicators involved and what is the potential value. If my current baseline is 4%, if I wanted to reach out 77% in automation, what would be my estimated value and how this estimate value will get generated? Here are the proper calculations defined by the system itself based upon the existing performance and the industry benchmark. So this is just one of the use cases I have covered in today's session, where we started with the insight, went to designing, goes to the workflow execution with the help of the process governance.
I have one more question. Customers want to sometimes see it in SAP. Can we still demonstrate performance in SAP the actual SAP screen, or is this better where they can understand it more?
If you wanted to showcase that information within our SAP, SAP will gonna show you a more information rather than a compliance, okay? Which you don't want to showcase with the customer. It may include sensitive data. But with the help of the Signavio process intelligence or the insights, we can hide that sensitive information and we can provide the specific data set information with them. We don't have to expose our complete system to them.
Good. Okay. This is a good system. Thank you.
Okay.
So
So let's say we have to analyze an end-to-end business process. That is okay. But coming to my IT landscape, half of my information is in SAP ECC. Let's say from PR creation till the goods received.
Okay.
Pricing part happens in COFAX and workflow.
Okay.
So how it would be possible to achieve and
as I told you, this has compatibility with most of the systems. Okay. If you have that information in other applications, whatever the name it is, whether it's ServiceNow, Salesforce, any customized application, we have ready-to-use connectors available for most of the application. But if you don't have the ready-to-use connectors available, then we have the option to connect with the data warehouses or databases, where you can put your information or park your information, and we can connect Signavio with that particular type of database.
Okay, that is.
If you have the data lake, then we can also connect with the data lake, whether it's a SAP or a non-SAP. If you have the SAP warehouse, then it's good. If you don't have a non-SAP warehouse, we can connect with the cloud connector.
Okay. So Roy, that is like, let's say we got the data, we got the inputs in Signavio environment. But as you mentioned, you have worked in Salonis space as well. Salonis gives us the transformation space, right? Because at the end, I will have to map these SAP tables with the COFAX tables. How will we be achieving that in Signavio?
I hope you heard about the object-oriented process mining.
Correct.
Okay. Salonis recently introduced object-oriented process mining almost 1 or 2 years back. But the Signavio concept is only on the object-based process mining from the start. Just allow me a moment. Let me showcase my screen. Wait, my system is a bit slow, so you may have to be a bit patient.
Yeah, no problem.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, right.
Okay, so this is the process data management of the Signavio, where you can define the business object, and the same business object is linked to your SAP tables. Okay, and you can control the configuration, all the fields, and that information from here. And then you can build your data model. When let's say you okay, let's say B2B. In the B2B itself, we can define our business object and the event collectors. Okay, all the coding we can do here, and then we can go without the extraction, where we can define our multiple tables. Here I just have defined one data table where we can define the configuration, and this would be very, very quick. It's not like other tool like MindVineo, Salonis, or Pega, where you have to start from scratch, as it's a SAP Signavio product. Okay, they have built more than 100 plus value accelerators for these processes, where you can just directly go to Signavio process management. Let's go to the collaboration. Here we have process value accelerator lab. These are the, you can choose the company, which accelerator you wanted to choose, whether defined by the SAP, Deloitte, Global, Punch, or any other. You can choose the accelerator, whether if you wanted to improve your or reduce your duplicate invoices. You just have, it will show you the complete scope. You can install this accelerator within your workspace, which workspace you want, and then good to go. The overall data model will be defined by the SAP itself. All the tables will be defined by the system. You don't have to make any change. You just have to run the extraction if your system is live. If you have some customization, you can add the customization, but you don't have to do anything from scratch. But when it comes to if you have that information available in the multiple systems, okay, so let's go to the process data management. Okay, here we have template documentation. What are the ready-to-use connectors we have available for the respective process for those different types of systems, whether it's a Jira, OpenText, S4HANA, ECC, Salesforce, Service Cloud, Transportation Management, Coupa, Ariba, or any other. These are readily available. You can just click, install it, and then bingo, everything is available. It will give you the recommendation and findings as well. If you wanted to create your customized dashboard or investigations, you can also do that based upon your identified levers, key matrices. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. This is a short introduction about the tool itself. I hope do you have any more questions, because we have covered most of the part as of now.
I have one more question. So you're saying that not only for R to R, you're going to cover all the modules, which will help any business analyst. So you're going to cover P2P, OTC, because I was kind of late. R to R, you're going to cover
these can be covered by the Signavio itself, but we will be covering training. If you have any specific requirement, then we have Alok within the call who can help us to define the roadmap for that kind of training, whether it's an R2R, order to cash, procure to pay, hire to retire, or any other kind of industry process.
Okay, but right now, just doing the fine part of it.
Okay, record the report. Yeah, we do have that training as well, where we can connect with your system and identify the opportunities. We can give you the diagnosis report, and then at the end, we'll also help you to identify the use cases where you can directly implement the identified levers.
Okay, but just to explain one more time, I'm sorry, because I was late. This course will go over the business processes, but I can use it in any module. Is that right?
Yes, you can. You can use this in any area, any department, any kind of tool, not only limited to Signavio. This tool was purchased by SAP 2 years back. Earlier, it was only Signavio, which was used for the business transformation, independent of the system you have, whether you have SAP, Oracle, JD Edwards, Jira, ServiceNow, or any.
We can use these processes.
Yes, you don't have to limit yourself only with SAP.
Okay.
This is just one part of it.
Okay.
But there are 99 other parts of it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Rohit.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll go later. Go ahead.
Okay, Praveen.
So we have covered.
Rohit, 1 minute.
Yeah, please.
See, I am not in this IT industry, IT side or SAP side. I am in manufacturing in the quality. So I am unaware of all these terms and modelings and the keywords of this. So how I would be able to catch up all these things?
Okay.
And how long is this?
As a quality, let me again show my slide in front of you. As a quality guy, what is your primary objective? To manage the process compliance audits. Okay, this will help you to identify what are the different processes you have who are not using the defined processes or having the violations. You can identify those areas as a quality person. You can identify those areas. You can identify, then you can go with the process compliance exercise, identify what are the non-compliance cases, and then you can define your risk metrics, or you can define your business case to improve the processes. Okay. The last use case is only for you, compliance and audit, only for the quality, where it will help you significantly or exponentially reduce the auditing time. You don't have to go with the manual auditing procedure. You can use Signavio for a system-driven auditing procedure for your company processes.
So this can help in root cause analysis?
Yes, in the process insights itself, I already did a demonstration where we can define the levers within the end-to-end process. Once we're gonna choose the lever, system will showcase what are the non-compliances we have, and then we can see how many number of cases are going through that non-compliances. Cases, suppose I'm purchasing something. So purchase order would be my business object. If I'm auditing the sales process, then sales order can be my business object. Or even if I'm just doing that exercise for my manufacturing process, then planning order or the production order can be my process or business object, which I can directly see from my process insights, the challenges, and what could be the correction recommendations, whether from the system perspective or from the non-system perspective. Okay.
I see. Right. And how long is the course duration and hours?
Course duration will come to that point just after completing the introduction part.
I see.
Can I check if the customer has any custom modules which have been developed? Can this also be added?
Okay, whether you have a SD, MM, FI, CO, or any other kind of module, project system, warehouse management, any kind of module you have whether it's an SAP or any other ERP system, that can be analyzed with the help of Signavio. This is not a system-bound application where you need a specific or an only SAP environment. If you have any kind of environment where the information is getting stored in the form of the events or their attributes, because whatever we are executing or whatever we are doing on a system, the information is always available on the backend in a database system or data lake or data warehouse based on your company structure, company or ID structure.
Yeah. My question would be like for your example that you have shown, right? You already have the process mapped and the events are already linked, right? So, but if it is a custom one, will we have to start by mapping?
There are two kinds of customization. Do you have the customization within the process or in the business object? If you have the customization within the business object, by default, that will be captured. You just have to add that particular field in your data model, or your data engineer has to do that. But if you have the customization within the process, then while doing the process modeling, you can add that customization.
Okay.
Or also, instead of finding out the customization, if you have existing SAP system, then you focus on getting rid of that customization. Because if you have existing SAP environment, whether it's an ECC, by default, you will be moving to S4. And in the S4, you have to go with the most least customization. This is the focus of S4. It will not allow you to do any kind of customization. Okay. So it will help you to identify where you don't have to do the customization, because there in the Process Explorer, we have a pre-built library of more than 7,000 processes of SAP, whether it's for success factors or any other module. Let me also show you one part of that. But before that, let me complete this. We have done the introduction, benefits, features, Explorer, quick modeling. We have covered this part till now. So simulation will have also shown you standard reports, IT system. This is done. And now let me show you one example how we can use the benefits. SAP Signavio. Okay. SAP provides SAP Signavio for their customers who have SAP Signavio. If we don't have the organizational hierarchy, we can go with the processes where SAP provides a pre-built end-to-end processes. This covers all kind of service companies like consumer, discrete manufacturing, energy, resource, public, or service industries, or financial as well. But it doesn't cover federal services or aerospace engineering. When you go drill down with the help of the process, it will show you what could be your end-to-end process, and under end-to-end process, what could be your other sub-processes. It will show you the complete landscape. And they have the process for every defined business capability in every area. Going back to that, then they have the product portfolio. If you wanted to explore with the portfolio, whether S4HANA, SuccessFactors, it will show you the complete landscape of SuccessFactors or the S4HANA or ECC. Suppose one of the most common process for every organization is the onboarding, employee onboarding. In the employee onboarding, what are the different sub-processes we should have? Onboarding, first working day, or the post-onboarding. If you have the onboarding, what should be the onboarding process? What should be the responsible roles for those activities? And what are the information we have to capture? These are a data object. We'll be having the business information. And further, what should be their first day of activities? This will show you how the system or success factor should be configured. These processes you can use as a best practice against to compare with your as-is process, and then you can define your to-be process so that you don't have to do that much of customization what you have done in your earlier implementations.
So it means that
that feature is already available in the system, and you can leverage that feature.
And will it also support the existing customizations? So, like, for example, let's say we implement Signavio to a client right now, and let's say they already say that, hey, we have a bunch of customizations. Let it be some data coming from upstream, some integration happening, and we are accordingly trying to push something to S4. Accordingly they have to do some customization downstream, like a RISEF or something. So will it already take that into account, or should they be thinking about?
Yes, both of the aspects are covered.
Okay.
If you have the existing customization, it will also show, you can also dig down to that level of detail. And if you wanted to keep the customization, then you can keep that customization along with the identified opportunities from the best practices. And
Got it. Okay.
we also have the configuration like for these kind of business objects, which is part of the success factors S4 or the Intelligent Business Network or the BTP.
Right. Okay. And just to understand, so where, and by the way, yeah, thanks a lot for this introduction. So just if I step back and take like a 50,000 feet level overview of Signavio. So as we know, in typically any SAP implementation, you kind of start off with your initial discover phase kind of thing, right? Where you start with your EPs and all that. And
if you see that discover, realize, and all the 5 phases of the SAP S4 activity, Signavio is heavily integrated with every part of the business phase.
Okay.
Yeah. If you will see the S4 activate document, you will be able to see every part, just allow me a moment. I think I have to showcase one small
so even in testing and deployment, cutover and all that also, you mean?
Yes. Let me show you. Just hold for a while.
Sure.
I may have to stop my screen for a while.
Sure. Because while you're doing that, and the reason I'm asking that is like in a couple of weeks, we do have some presentations to the client, mainly from a client leadership standpoint, like project managers, mainly project managers, not the process. So because they are the ones who will be anyway running the show also at the end of the day for these kind of projects, even though SAP program managers kind of folks. So I'm assuming they will be using mainly the reporting and dashboard aspect across all the phases of Signavio is my guess, just to understand where the project is and how much we have completed and all that is my guess.
Okay, just allow a moment. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
In a moment. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, I can see. Yeah.
I hope you're familiar with this S4 activate phase, complete S4 activate. So this is the S4 activate, discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run, all the phases. Every phase has their sub phases, and these are the modules of SAP Signavio, which will be used in the sub phase of every S4 activate. Collaboration hub is used in almost every module. Then the process manager journey model is used in the initial discover phase. Then process governance, the placement in almost every phase after discover. Process insight is the part of every phase. Intelligence again comes into every phase. Value accelerator, 100 plus value accelerators defined by the SAP Signavio will be used in every phase to analyze the performance or measure the performance or define the improvement opportunities or define the scope of your S4. Because if you have to define the S4 transformation, the scope will be defined by the insights and intelligence, where they will gonna cover what are the different codes you are using, whether the standard or the customized one, in which business process, and then it will gonna draft to the scope for your S4 implementation.
Okay, very nice. Okay, good to know that. Yeah, thanks for this.
That's why I'm specifically in SAP S4 improvement in our technical service delivery from ZaranTech.
And as a part of the course itself, so as we are doing the course itself, I'm assuming we'll have some kind of assignments or something like that just to practice.
Yes, you should be having the assignments for every module instead of the process insight and the build automation. These modules we won't be covering because to run the Excel of these modules, you need the backend data or you need a live system.
Right.
Okay. But for the other modules, we will be giving you the exercise to perform by you. We won't be doing that. You have to do the analysis, then you have to come up with the process, and then you have to identify the levers. You have to design the process. You have to run the customer journey with your team, within the team members, within the trading team. Okay. Where we will be defining the persona. For few of them would be the customer, few of them would be the vendor. You would be the company who are managing this particular process, and you will gonna identify the employee experience, vendor experience, as well as the customer experience. And you will end up designing the customer journey, finding touch points and the pain areas from both of the.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, one question. This is Abhishek. We need to understand the rightly said question that assignment. So how could our course will be aligned if we are going for a certificate?
The course which we have designed, it 100% compliant or the information which is available within the SAP Signavio website, but it covers more information beyond the existing scope, which will help you to complete the training certification in a very short duration.
Okay. So we will able to clear SAP Signavio certification. I would say in that way, right?
Yeah. So after the end of this course, you will be able to go with the certification exam. And if you're gonna give your 100% during the training, then you will be able to complete the certification exam in the first attempt.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. And when it comes to our services, I will request Alok to take over. What are the services we can offer?
Hey,
Hi Rohit,
hey,
I have
Rohit.
one question. It's like, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Rohit, so like whatever the course will be, right? Like, will we be getting access to a system that where we can perform all these activities?
Yes, we will be providing you the access to a dummy environment or demo environment where you will be able to work out or execute the activities which we're gonna assign to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi Rohit, I have one question. It's like, will the training cover how the connectors will be configured? Because let's say if I want to connect my ECC on my system, like I just want to connect and see how
No,
it
that's not the part
replicate the
of the
data.
scope. No, that's not the part of the training scope. If we have a specific services for the integration because it covers about the scope, which requires a configuration from your data engineer side or from your tool architect side. So it covers most of the things, but specifically the integration part we don't cover.
And
Okay.
I have a question. What jobs would this prepare us for? I know business analysts, but what other jobs can we go after once we finish this course?
Functional consultants, business process manager or process experts, business BAs, business analysts, or the data engineers who are interested in doing the data engineering for Signavio, they can take this course. Or also the business users who will be using the SAP Signavio as an end user. Because most of the participants are from the team who will be implementing it. But who would be using it? They also have to use these kind of trainings so that they will get hands-on to perform the necessary actions required by them.
Yeah,
Business process management team can only implement the tool for a company, but there must be n number of users within the team or thousands of users who will be using SAP Signavio to measure their performances, process performances.
Yes, good question.
I would like just to understand well, how can you redesign SAP Signavio with the onboarding success factors?
Sorry,
Like
come
this
again.
show.
Come again. I lost you for a moment. I lost you for a moment. Can please come back to the last statement?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I said that I would like just to understand well, how can you redesign Signavio with the success factors onboarding?
I think I'm the one who is losing your voice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, so as I said, like you show data, so I would like to understand how can you redesign Signavio with the success factors onboarding, for example.
We can by just using the Signavio process manager, you can choose the best practices and then you can superimpose your existing customization. Or if you don't want to impose your customization, you can leverage those benefits and then you can do the configuration from your end. Once you will gonna define the cloud ALM or the solution manager will have you to put the process within success manager. If you have the solution manager, then it's good. If you don't have the solution manager, then choose cloud ALM. We can redesign the process with the help of solution manager. The process will get approved by the stakeholders with the help of the governance. When the process will get approved, you can push the process to your either EC system or the S4 or the success factors.
Okay, so we can do that with the recruiting module too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for about the services, Alok, can you please take it up from here? What are the different kind of services we can provide? Alok?
Yeah.
Okay, I think Alok is having some difficulties. My question is why you have to choose ZaranTech? So we are a US-based organization. We provide the trainings and upskilling in all the SAP areas, and most of the trainings are from USA who are working here and deploying the trainings on-prem as well as online trainings. So every trainer in our company has more than four implementation experiences which we have deployed to our customers. And our trainers are the SAP certified. We have done a lot of trainings in the past, and if you search on the SAP trainings on YouTube, you will gonna find out the quality and the value which we are delivering. And we have for the finance, EWM, FICO, and every other SAP module. Okay, so these are the few links which we will share by the end of this course. You can go and expose these. So we have a 7 days full money back guarantee as well, and we are rated at 4.4. If you will gonna search out on the Google, we are 4.4. rating company, and ours will provide you 1 year access to recording video sessions as well as lifetime access to the material which you'll be putting in the Google Drive, and 24/7 technical support for the US as well as India. So also we have started a LinkedIn learner community which is available on this link. That's it. That's all from my end. If you have any further questions, you can share via email by the end of this call, and we will try to answer those questions as soon as possible. I will rest my session from here.
Can you share the LinkedIn community, please?
Sure, I will do that. One of our technical service team will share this slide with all of you, where you can revisit all these points, and then you can share your questions or go through these links.
Hi, sir. This is Sunil from ZaranTech Tech Support. I'm audible to you?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So we have shared the demos, course curriculum links in the chat, so all the participants can check the view and they can use the link for the forwarding.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.